Well, somebody else just got the checkbook out, and you and I are recording just one day after the announcement that AEW has a brand new deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. Now we know for sure that AEW is going to be around for the next 3 years on TBS, TNT, and now HBO Max. Max is actually going to be a streaming home for both Dynamite and Collision. Both Dynamite and Collision are going to remain as live properties. And we've got a 3 year deal with an option for a fourth year. Jim, this is the big contract that Tony Khan had in mind when he first launched AEW. This has got to be exciting news. It's great for AEW fans. It's great for the Khan family. It's great for the performers. It's great for the industry as a whole. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I think so because with the advent and the development of AEW, uh, it gives talents an option. Everybody can't work at WWE. Everybody can't make a living doing just the indies. So I think AEW is a good alternative without question, and it's good for the talent. And anytime you can create an environment or a business plan that includes the enhancement of talents, and you have a way to keep the talent happy, which is paying them. It's a pretty good deal. Our company is unique in a sense. Conrad, you know it better than me. The travel schedule for the talent is probably as good as it has ever been in the history of pro wrestling.
Yes,
So,
agreed.
so a guy's got a chance if they choose to have a life, have a chance to be a dad or a mom or whatever, and so it's a unique time in the business without question.
It's got to be.
What was the dollar amount on that thing?
Well, I don't think any of it has been released officially yet. I know
Okay.
there was an original report that said 150 a year, another said 175. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that it averages out to $185 million per year. That the first year was less than that, but the last year was more than that. So the average is 185. And supposedly, according to Mr. Meltzer, that fourth year is a lot more than the third year, so it certainly seems like AEW is set up for success. I mean, this is a great day for the cons, for AEW, for AEW fans.
I agree.
AEW
I
is here to
agree.
stay.
I agree. I think it's a monumental day in that respect, without question. So, hey, look, it's a live property. It never repeats. It's got a lot of great qualities. It's an established genre. So, Tony did a great job of cutting that deal, and a lot of talents should feel very relieved that it's done, and they can continue to earn a good living in AEW and not be traveling all the time.
I do want to talk a little bit about what's happened on TV because since you and I have spoken, we had Arthur Ashe and then we had the 5 year anniversary show. These are two big opportunities, two big shows back to back. We know that as folks are listening to this tonight, they're going to be taping Collision in Toledo, and that'll air this Saturday. Um, let's talk a little bit about the reveal that we saw last week, a new debut. It wasn't that long ago. You and I were talking about free agents here on the program, and
Yeah.
we talked about a guy like Bobby Lashley. And there are reports out that Bobby Lashley is a part of AEW and he's under contract. And while we don't have any official confirmation of that, we did see the debut of MVP at Arthur Ashe. And then, as we're recording this last night in Pittsburgh, we saw the debut of Shelton Benjamin.
Right.
Two big additions to AEW. And the card that he's handing everybody, he being MVP, pronoun boy, says Hurt Syndicate on it. And we've had some internet fans who are zooming in and, hey, it says
Wow.
Hurt Syndicate. What do you think about Hurt Syndicate? It seems like it's an homage to the Hurt Business. Because we got MVP, we got Shelton Benjamin. We know they gave a card to Sasha Banks. How excited are you about this new proposition, new crew coming to AEW?
Well, I'm going to be patient enough to let it evolve. That's. We'll put that picture back up there, will you? I like looking at Camille. Uh, did Bull go for lunch?
Yep.
anyhow, that's an impressive group of talents right there. I'm curious to see if MVP can get himself and his talents over. That's the name of the game. That's the bottom line. And I've only talked to him briefly since he's returned, or since he's come to AEW. I like the upside of Camille. She's got a distinctive look that you can't not look at. And of course, Mercedes Moné. I still haven't felt her yet. I still haven't felt her connection yet. And I know that she's got a lot of popularity. And I know that people around the world know who she is. So, but I haven't felt it. So sometimes I think she's a cool baby face. And sometimes I think she's a cool heel. But she's pretty cool nonetheless.
It was pretty cool seeing AEW and Arthur Ashe last weekend. Of course, you were there. You were a part of that big show. It went down on Wednesday. They put the Collision show in the can. What was your experience like at Arthur Ashe last week?
It was good. I like the setup. It's surprisingly good for a tennis court, if you want to say it that way. But it was good. You know, I thought we had a hell of a good show. The TV product, and I've been as critical about TV product as anybody could be. But the two shows we're talking about here today were fabulous television shows, strong, and that makes me happy. And it proves my point once again that this roster rises to the occasion when the spotlight's on. And of course, the spotlight is on every Wednesday and Saturday night, with the exception of the pay-per-views. You add that into the mix, like Tacoma. For some reason, these young men and women rise to the occasion, Conrad. You get their best work. Now, their best work may not fit your scale, your measuring scale. It fits mine. And I love the performances at these big events by the AEW guys and gals. It's really refreshing, and it's exciting. They're discovering what it's like to get over, and they're discovering what it's like to be a star. And all those come with different pieces of baggage.
What would you do with 2 house payments? Tony Schiavone here to tell you about SaveWithConrad.com. When you refinance with Save with Conrad, you can do so with confidence, knowing not only will you get a great rate, but you will get to skip 2 house payments. You don't need perfect credit, and there's no money out of your pocket. Find out how we can help you skip 2 today at SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
SaveWithConrad.com.